We are welcome to Facebook on Steroids. I am delighted that you are all here today. I hope you like my funny picture. Like I said, that's not Jeff. It's a professional model.
We look alike.
And so we are glad you are here today. We know you could take advantage of a lot of classes out there, and I'm glad that you chose to spend this time with us. And so I'm very excited and can't wait to help. I'm going to have Jeff introduce everybody on our team that's here, and we'll get rolling. So.
Okay, cool. I don't know. I can't see if everybody's here on our team, but I just
it's just us, me and Keena right now.
Okay, so I just want to thank everybody for showing up. This is going to be awesome. We're looking forward to this. The Jeff Stempo team, the first person that I want to go over is Jennifer. She's our business relationship manager, and she just runs the show, makes sure that we run like a well-oiled machine, and she does a great job. She's been on her 5-year anniversary was a couple days ago, so she's been awesome. Adam is my loan partner. He's been on my team for 10 years, sorry. And we always joke about that, but he's the guy that you refer the client to. He's very detailed oriented. He takes the time with clients love him. And he'd be jumping on here if you haven't met him, but he's great. He's awesome. And
he's actually on the phone with a client right now. He had a call it.
That's why I'm able to do these things. So that's what he does. And then Keena is our marketing manager. She's been on the team for
10 months.
10 months. So she's been great, and she can do anything that you need marketing, but she helped Jennifer with this, putting this together, other marketing aspects that we do, and sending out mailers and setting up Bomb, if you guys know about that. We do a lot of cool things that you're always welcome to talk to me about, that we can help you grow your business. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer. I'm looking forward to the presentation.
Yes. So Facebook on steroids. I actually have a poll I want to launch because I'm just curious about what you already do on this. And because there's a lot of aspects of Facebook. And so I just launched that poll. If you want to take that anytime between now and the end of class, that would be great. Just because it helps us, kind of guide our classes in the future and such. We obviously are going to teach far more than just Facebook classes. And I'm going to announce a few more new classes that are coming out starting next week. But just want to help make sure we're targeting you and for your needs. So let's get started. So we have 3 topics today. Creating a group or page for your area, Facebook reviews, and advertising to a custom audience. The first 2, super easy. The last one, a little bit more complicated. So start with easy. That's what I recommend doing. Start with something easy, work up to the harder, more complicated stuff. You don't have to do all of these to succeed. You can do some of these. You can pick and choose. And also, there are a lot of college students right now that are just hanging out doing nothing. And or they had they're planning to work at summer camps this summer that have been canceled. This is a great time to hire a college student because this is, in many ways, their native language. And so they know how to do this. They can do this very easily for you. And hiring a college student, you could do that for a short term versus hiring, a full-time salaried employee. So you're going to, it's much more affordable to do that. Obviously, pay them a fair wage. But it's just a great way, a win-win for both of you. If this is not your comfort zone, and then you can spend your time doing the thing you do best, which is selling homes. So those are our subjects. Okay, so we'll start with the easy one. This is creating a page or a group for your area. So your first decision is deciding, okay, am I going to do a page or group? The easy way to distinguish between those are, if you want to be the main voice, the main talker on the page, you want to start a page. If you want everyone to share, you want to start a group. So a group means pretty much everybody can see what is shared. There's, depending on your privacy settings there, you can set it so that no one outside of the group can see, or you can set it so that everyone, anybody can see. You can set it so you have to ask permission to join. Obviously, if you're going to do this for an area that you live in and you're doing it for the purposes of marketing and building your name, obviously, you probably want to open up those privacy settings as much as possible. Some examples, Jeff and I and Keena all live out in Poolsville, and we have very active pages and groups. Gail Lee actually started a group out here that is probably the hottest source of information in our area. This is how we get the fastest information. It's the Town of Poolsville Community Information Group. And actually Vicki is now, the page grew so much that now Vicki is one of our admins for that. Because if it got too much for one person to be the admin for that. And I think y'all are up to 4 admins on that because there are so many. I think she started at, a couple hundred people, and now it's well over 5,000 people. And it's the source of all information of, which restaurants are open during Corona, to lost dogs, to houses that happen to go on sale, or, what's that helicopter over town? It is the go-to information source for Poolsville, honestly. And this is a great way to do that. Now, you can start small. You can do it for a neighborhood, or you could do it for an area, or, North Frederick, or, up county, Montgomery County, whatever you want to do that for. On the other hand, if you can start a page and you can be the information sharer. So like the Town of Poolsville has an official page. And this is where information comes from the town hall and benefits the entire community there. But there's not a lot of conversation on that page. That is primarily information sharing. Does anybody here run a page or a group other than your business page? Anybody? Just, Debbie, where do you, oh, okay. Other than your business page, anybody run a page or a group? So this is a great way to become known as the expert on your area and the information source on that area. And you don't have to put out there that you're a realtor, Obviously, though, if somebody's a patient, that's going to come up, and you're going to find out people with needs, and you can reach out to them and such. But you can become the information source and the expert for that neighborhood, area, whatever you choose. Okay, so how to do this? Facebook has made this super easy now. What you're going to do is you're going to go to your main Facebook page where you normally log in, and right now there's a button and it just says create. All you gotta do is click on it, and then a drop down menu is going to appear, and it's going to say start group or start page or create page, create group, create ad, all these different options. And so you just select, am I going to do a group or a page? Your choice. If you're going to do a group, you name, this is super easy, I'm not kidding. Name your group, add a few members of people that you know would be interested. Select public or private. I would definitely go public since you're trying to build information. Some people start groups, they make them public at first to kind of help get the word out, and then they make it private later. Your choice. Make it visible so that people can find it, and then click create. Boom. You just created your Facebook group, your first one. I promise you, you can do this in 5 minutes. And it is super easy, and you've got this. I promise you got this. Very similar process, however, for pages. So select your option. Are you creating it for a business? Now, this is if you don't have a business page already, create a business page. You need to do that, and we'll talk about that. If you have some additional questions, I'll be glad to chat with you about that. By the way, if anybody has any questions throughout, throw your hand up, unmute yourself and say, hey, please jump in. This is not just, I don't want to do a monologue here, so I'd love to hear from you. If you're going to start a community page, obviously click on community page. Same thing, name your page, add a category to describe it, add some photos, basic information, and then just you get to invite your friends to like the page. Super easy as well. A few tips for success. Post regularly. I recommend daily at first, at least, to get kind of the conversation going with your group or page, and then at least weekly. Be prepared to handle conflict if your group grows. I know Vicki is on mute right now because she's driving, but Vicki probably as an admin of the Full School page will tell, she frequently has to deal with some things as groups get bigger. And that's just, it's not, it's just any part of any conflict management. Vicki, do you want to say something here about, yes.
What I will say about the community group pages, and a mistake, I think mistake is not the right word, but what I would recommend is establish the rules early and let people know that your page is going to be moderated according to some guidelines. And I think that it was when we started moderating that page more heavily, people got really angry and upset and felt like we were censoring people. People don't handle change well. So establish the rules early on and follow them. There's kinds of tools for the admins on the page to be able to, that will alert you to keywords like curse words or phrases, things like that. And you can automate some of the administration duties. Definitely keep, as your community page grows, you're going to want to keep an eye on it and make sure that it keeps the flavor that you want. So Gail started that page and wanted it to be about community information and extremely hyper local, because there's places to get information on the rest of Montgomery County and the rest of Maryland, but there's nowhere else to get information that is specific to our community in Poolsville. So that's my number one piece of advice, and probably my only advice, is set up those guidelines that people know this is going to be a moderated page, and that you have the you reserve the right to delete comments that are off topic or are inflammatory or whatever, and you'll save yourself some headaches down the road, because people can't handle change. That's for sure.
That's very true. And so I know like some of the rules that they've established are no cussing, no cursing, you can't just rip apart a local business because you're not going to somebody's local business because you had one bad experience.
We allow all the positive reviews of businesses in town that you want to make, but no negative reviews, because some of that is very subjective. And one person may have a bad experience. It can really hurt a business to have negative reviews. And there are other places that you can negative review people. Our page is not for that.
So, but it's a great way to really connect, and also it's a really good way to stay in tune with what is important to this community that you want to be the realtor for. And really kind of stay on the pulse of what's important in the big issues there, and to inform them and as well. Ideas for posts for a group or a community, interview local business. owners. Like if you go to a restaurant, interview them, or, you know, have them give a deal. Hey, mention that you saw this video and I'll give you, you know, a free appetizer or something like that. See if you want to work something out. It'll help that business possibly. And, you know, help you get some more interest into the page. It's a win-win for everybody. You know, share local events, cool people, charity events, charities that are working in that community, photos of local spots. You can do a you know, a game, a contest of, hey, guess this location, you know, and have a picture of a local, I don't know, park or street corner or something, you know, that kind of thing. And it just really builds the interaction there. Cool parks and recreation areas that people might not know about. It's a really good way to build community. And people are really, especially those that are still very much quarantined, they're desperate for community right now. And so this would go quick and it would grow fast if you're going to do this for your community. Other
question.
Yes.
Question. So where I live, there are already 3 community pages up and running that are pretty large.
Okay.
So how do you?
Okay.
And I'm not a Facebook fan at all.
Okay.
And
Well, then this is probably not your thing.
yeah.
And that's okay.
But how would you somebody else, like if somebody else were to move to the area and they wanted to break into an area that's pretty saturated, you know, how do you find your niche?
I would do something different then. I would do something like very specific, like restaurants in the area, or the best hiking spot, or the best park in, you know, parks in the area, you know, something very even more niche than that, than just the area there. You know, best park, you're in Frederick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I can't remember if you lived
Yes. Yeah. Urbana.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, best park in, or let's talk about the best parks or park events in Urbana, or best hiking or best recreation, that kind of thing.
Okay.
A friend of mine does one on
niche it way down.
bicycling trails and bicycling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a huge following because it's not a very common thing. He's up in Frederick also.
Yeah. And, you know, don't hide the fact that you're a realtor, because you are, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that becomes part of it, you know, that's just a part of you. Yeah, and so people will start connecting you to that and reaching out to you.
No, I like the bicycling up here, Paul. I have to check that one out because it's a little tough in Frederick. It's hilly and a lot of roads that don't have any wide shoulders. But hiking, that's something that's right up my alley. Great idea. Thank you.
And the nice thing is with, you know, the hiking page, you know, you're going to get something out of this too. So you're going to find some new trails or some new things of interest to you as well. So yes, you're enriching your community, but you're also doing more as well. So, okay. Next, Facebook reviews. I've talked about this a few times before. If you've been to one of my other classes, so I'm not going to cover this topic as in depth, but I will talk about it some because so some things have changed now on Facebook reviews. Used to, well, let's start. You can only submit for reviews to on Facebook business pages or pages. So you cannot submit personal reviews. I mean, I'm sure I have some exes I'd like to review, but they don't let you do that. But what they do is, so you can review businesses. And if you want to get reviews, therefore you have to have a Facebook business page so people can review you as a realtor, not as a person. And also now the thing that has changed is they do not have the star rating system. Used to, Facebook had, you know, you could rate somebody, you know, 1 to 5 stars or 1 to 4 stars. I forgot which. And they have changed that now because they really want people to write something. And so now they have changed it to Facebook, would you, or I think it's thumbs up, would or would not recommend. Okay, like that. And then they want you to write something there about why you would or would not recommend this place. So make sure you have a Facebook business page and you send messages to your past clients and ask them politely for reviews. And when somebody does leave you a review, respond to it and say thank you. or if it is, we'll say constructive criticism, maybe address the issues and talk about, maybe explain the issue further and how you're addressing that in the future so that won't occur again. Let's see. Okay, next. So where do you find your Facebook review link? For some, this can be a little complicated, so I just thought I would show. On your main page, you're going to click on your business page. So ours is the Jeff Stempler team, obviously. We're going to click up here on settings. They're going to click over here on templates and tabs. And then over here, okay, let me turn that off. Sorry, I got real crazy there, thinking I knew how to turn this off. And then you're going to click down there on under reviews right here. You're going to click on settings right there. And you're going to want to make sure your show reviews is on. And then right there, you're going to have your link underneath that. And that's how you send it to people and say, hey, would you mind dropping me a review? You can send that direct message. You can send that on an email, whatever is the easiest way to do that. And I have, we did a class earlier on this, specifically on reviews and how to get them on different platforms. And so if you have more questions on this, let me know and I'll be happy to send you over that PowerPoint that walks you through even more in depth on getting the Facebook reviews and how powerful they are. Is anybody who's currently using Facebook reviews, or depends on, or request them or ask for them, or does anybody use them a lot now? Anybody? Okay, great way nowadays, because social media is so powerful. It is a very powerful way because people are going to Google you and they will probably search you on Facebook. If they don't know you and they're looking for a realtor, they're probably going to do those two things. So I would highly recommend building up those reviews. Okay, let's see. Now, let's move on. Okay, so this is the complicated one. So everybody, fasten your seatbelt. We're going to hang. We're going to get this through. I'll be honest, this is the most complicated one. I'm going to send out notes after the class. Be sure to answer the poll. So I have your email address so I can make sure to send you these notes. And you can always go to jeffstemplerteam.com and contact us through there, and we can set up a one-on-one appointment if you just look at this and you're like, oh, no. I need a more in-depth understanding of this. But I promise you can do this. I promise. So advertising to custom audiences. This can be a powerful game changer for you. If you are going to do any ads, this is the way I would go, because they're going to be much more effective, because these are people you already have some connection with. There are two groups that you can advertise to that I would recommend starting with. One, past clients, or two, your leads. So especially if you've gotten leads in a bucket, like somebody, you're using, I'm trying to think all of the services out there, but you get the Zillow leads, or you're getting Realtor.com leads. All of those, if you've just got a big bunch of names and addresses, this would be a great way to do it. Others are past clients, so that you can, I would use the past clients and target advertising to them, either asking for reviews, or I would target asking them if they want to move up, or asking them for referrals. So, and it helps you stay top of mind to them, so you don't slip out of your mind. They don't buy their next house and go, oh, I forgot to use her or him again. You don't want that. You can do a targeted ad for somebody if you have their email address and phone number and name. That's all you need. It's also much cheaper than just doing a scattershot ad as well. So to do this, first you have to create a custom audience. And in order to have a custom audience, you have to have a Facebook manager account and a business page. Okay, so this is different than your personal page. This is a business page. Super easy to create. You create it just like we talked about creating pages in the past, okay? A few slides ago. And then you're going to need to create a Facebook business account. What you're going to do is you're going to go over here. Let me show you over here. So you're going to go over here and you're going to go to your account and the settings, and then you're going to go and click on sorry. And then you're going to click down here at the bottom, create ad account. Okay. And that'll create your account. Super easy to do. And that just means you can run advertising. Okay. So once you've got that set up, then you're going to you're going to create your list of targets or people you want to advertise to. You can do this in Excel. And what you're going to do, you need columns, first name, last name, phone number. You're going to need to add the country code to the phone number so that Facebook recognizes it, because, you know, Facebook is an international service. Email. And if you have the state they're from, I found it's easier for them to find them on Facebook if you know what state they're living in as well. Once you've done this in Excel, save it as a CSV file. And if you don't know how to do that, you'll just go to Save As, and then there's a drop-down menu. And instead of saving an Excel file, you're going to save it as a CSV. Okay? So now you've got your Facebook page, you've got your ad account, and you have your CSV file. You're moving on. You're doing good. Next is you're going to select a photo for the ad. If you are not using a photo, do not bother advertising. People look at photos. Okay? What kind of photo do I use? Options. If you've got happy clients that are willing to share their photo, use that. We had an event that's happening this weekend. You can include, you know, an event about that, or something from a review. You can include a team photo, your photo. I loved this photo. One of our clients, they closed recently. They were all decked out in their corona protection gear, and she was making silly faces and sent it to us. And we were like, please let us use that for an ad because it is so awesome. And she said yes. And so we were very grateful for that. Okay, so you've got your photos. Next step. Go to your business page. You're going to go up to that magic create button that you're going to do a lot of things with. Click on create, click on add. And next, you're going to confirm that you're in your business account. You're going to select, I recommend when you're starting out that you can pick lots of different objectives for your advertising campaign. I recommend starting with traffic because it's just the easiest. Name your campaign, set your budget. I recommend starting low at like $5 a day to start and run it for a week, simply because you want to figure out what you're doing. Don't waste your money. You know, don't do something and figure out, oh, this is not good, or it's not very effective. So just do, you know, $5 a day for a week, $35. It's your investment in your business. Click continue. Then you're going to upload your custom audience. And what you'll do is you'll hit create new. You're going to select your customer list that you made, your target list that you made, that CSV file. And then you're just going to go through, create, you're just going to keep hitting, you know, yes, 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 yes. All of that. It will be very obvious. You're going to collect auto placements just because it's easier, and unless you're, you know, the social media genius, I would not mess with much. And you're going to set ad spend limits. Optimization, you're going to click link links. set an end date. Like I said, I would do a week, and I would do spending limits for your account, simply because you don't want to go crazy and just suddenly you're, broke over this. If your eyes are crossing yet, because you're like, I can't do this. This is why you hire somebody to do this. This is why you do college students. And I promise you all of this stuff, they'll be like, oh, okay. Or a high school student, actually. But like I said, I'm gonna say it again. If you want a one-on-one session, you and I can do this one-on-one, and you can share your screen, and I'll say, point at that, click that, and you and I can do this together.
Jennifer, quick question.
Yes?
If you're doing an ad to your targeted audience like that, and you're putting a dollar amount, if you're, say you're doing an ad that says asking for referrals, does it just keep sending that ad repeatedly until they respond?
No,
or
what
for a
it'll do
certain
is
amount of
it will
time?
show up in their news feed and I believe you can click on, there is a place you can click on the maximum number of times that somebody will see that ad, but it just keeps showing up in their ads, and people don't really, it's more of an awareness thing. Does that make sense? But
Because I can't imagine you'd want to send the same ad to that
Right.
same group of 10 or 20 people.
right. And so what you can
repeatedly.
do, you can do different photos. And also I would recommend as many make your list as big as possible. So if you don't, if you've got 10 or 20, see if you, maybe include friends and family and stuff on this list to get started. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
And there is a way you can limit. Let's see. Okay. So you're going to add, this is how you actually make the ad. You're going to name your ad. You're going to write your text for your ad. This has to be short and sweet. You do not want a long thing. Just say, like for a Corona ad is, Corona's not stopping us. We're still selling houses. We're still helping people finance their dream homes. Nice and short. You're going to write a little headline. Jeff Stempler team is here for you. Add any details that you wish. Choose your destination. So if you're going to choose, where do you want people to go? Do you want them to go to a Facebook Live event you've created? Do you want them to go to your website? Most of you, it's probably your website. Put your website in. But then the cool thing is you can personalize that link. So like we give out our website as jeffstemplerteam.com, but it's actually just a redirect to Jeff's website that's managed by the company, which is firsthome.com/Jeff Stempler. And that's way longer to remember. So what you want is to just put in whatever website. So it could be, let's see who's there, www.paulpoulter.com, that kind of thing, or jeffwheatley.com. Okay. So you could just put in whatever there, but it'll still send you to the link it actually wants it to go to. Okay. Select the call to action. So you can say like, learn more, call me now, let's contact. Okay. Then you can, you're just going to hit confirm. And also of all your options down here, just go single image and video for the first one, just because it's easier. We're going to start easier and then you can get fancier. Okay. So, and then boom, you've created an ad. You're done. Congratulations. You made it. So now I'm going to, you did it. Woo. Say thank you, because that's all I have the detail wise today, but I want to open it up to questions for anybody who might have questions about anything related to all of this that I missed or didn't cover, and I'm happy to help. If they're generalized questions, if you have specific questions just for me that you want to have a conversation about, or just with Jeff, we can schedule that afterwards, and I'll be glad to. Yes, Maggie.
What about just boosting ads to, like I have a house for sale. So boosting that ad out there, and you select your audience versus putting your audience in.
Yes, you can do that very much so. It It's just, I have found personally not as effective per dollar for what you're spending as a more targeted audience for a specific thing. Target.
Well,
You could send it out. Yes, very much, boost that ad. We do that all the time. We did it for this class. In fact, boost the ad for the class. It's like $5 or whatever for that. But if I wanted to get reviews or something like that, I just think depends on your goal.
I'm just talking like when you take a house that's for sale and you've got a house for sale that you want people to click on that website and check the house out, but you can target for demographics and location.
Yes, and it will, I will say you have to, when you're doing the boost, there's a button at the top. It says, is this a special ad category for housing, or I think there's a few other categories. I just know the housing one because it's, related to all of us. And so when it says that, you'll have to click that, and there are limits on what demographics, how much you can tighten those demographics because of discrimination worries about.
Absolutely, yeah.
What I would do that ad. I would boost your general ad like that. But then maybe if you have a bunch of leads, say, hey, is this the house for you? And do an ad like that with your leads, or to your past clients. Hey, I'm selling this great house. Who do you know that this would be perfect with? Share it with them today. So you could do 3 different things there and really spread that word a lot more and a lot faster. So, other questions? Anybody? Okay, so I have recorded this. I also have a handout. And what I'll do is I've got, your names and information and stuff over here. We're going to email it out to everybody so you can get the handout and such. If you have any questions, my email is jsingh, S-I-N-G-H, @firsthome.com. Email me and I will be glad to chat you up. If you can't remember that, I hope you can remember jeffstemplerteam.com, and there's a way to contact Jeff through that, and Jeff can either, if he knows, he can answer it, or if it's something that's not his realm, he can send it on to me. I'd love to see you. We're going to do these classes a little more often since everybody's kind of stuck inside. We're going to do them weekly. So upcoming classes, next Thursday, 6 ways to stay top of mind right now. So they're quarantine specific. After that, calls to action, how to give calls to action that are like not creepy and weird. And a lot of people say, oh, you've got to give a call to action. But they don't, what is an actual call to action? What does that sound like? So we're going to go through that the following Thursday, the 21st or 28th. And then June the 4th, we're going to do a class on Tech 101. That is a class we had back in January that we had in the office. But since it is so relevant to now, and a lot of people are like, oh, wait, I need to know some more tech than I realized back in January, I'm going to do a replay of that so that people can jump on and get that and either rewatch it or they can come to the first time. So, Jeff, do you have anything?
Yes. First, don't be shy to reach out to me to get, if you don't have Jen's or Keena's number. They definitely want to help. I don't think you're not charging for this, right?
No.
I'm just kidding.
New shoes. Yeah, I need new shoes.
I don't like technology, so that's why I have them. But so they can help you, walk you through it. So if you're like me, use them to help you out. Definitely. If Jen's all finished, I wanted to see if does anybody have any questions beside in any other realm, any other mortgage questions, what's going on in the market? Anybody have anything that they want to ask while you got me on the screen here? So
what's your opinion of the of all the money that flooded in, and how's that going to affect everything?
You mean the money that the Fed is buying mortgage-backed securities? Yes. So initially it was, I guess, good. I mean, it's not good from the economy and it's money's coming. We're just printing money. So that actually lowered the interest rates and keeping the interest rate stable. Recently, there's been news with all this money we're spending. It's a little bit of a scare. It bumped up the rates a little bit. If you might have, some of you might know, might not have, but rates are still in the 3s, depending on the type of loan, maybe lows on specific programs. But they've gone up a little bit over the last week or so based on that news that Maggie's talking about. A lot of times rates actually get better, based on when this happens, when the Fed's pouring money to lower the interest rates, but it's becoming a lot of money. So I don't know. I mean, if I knew, I'd be a millionaire. Well, let's wait and see. And hopefully we'll get out of this mess. I do know that some of you are probably a little busier than maybe you thought, even though you might not be slammed. People are buying homes. We need houses on the market. I think a little bit people are getting more comfortable getting houses on the market, and then they're going under contract pretty quickly. I think most of you would agree. So any other questions?
Jeff, is jumbo money still available? And
it is available. There was a time for, I don't know, like a week and a half where it kind of just went away. But there are like overriding guidelines, 20% down, reserves in the bank after the 20%. What I'm doing, they don't fit that mold. What's working really well for me is a first loan at a Fannie Mae level with a second. That's where I'm doing a lot of transactions. So that helps us. And the second loan is a home equity line of credit, and it's not the end of the world. It actually can be very, very beneficial for somebody if they have the ability to pay that loan down over time. It doesn't be right away, but shortly. So that's one way to get over that. Yeah, it is available. Market rates are a little bit higher, but not terrible. They at least need to be comfortable with the cash out of pocket and the payment.
Stifler, do you want to say something about first-time homebuyer programs now?
Oh, I don't know if you guys know, First Home is the largest lender that it works with the Maryland Mortgage Program. We do about 60% of their loans. We do a lot of them on my team, and we suspended them, I don't know, a month and a half ago or so. Just shortly is because of U.S. Bank services all those loans. And U.S. Banks stipulated that if somebody goes into forbearance, the lender has to buy back the loan. And I'm not saying that would put us out of business, but since we do 60% of their business, that's a huge risk for us. So we backed out from those. And so did a lot of other lenders still worked with them. Some had overlaying guidelines. At the end of the day, the Maryland Mortgage Program was very unhappy with U.S. Bank. They worked out unsuspended. So we're actually doing all of those programs again with HOC, Housing Opportunity Commission in Montgomery County.